Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back. The man of the hour. What it's called, you know what it is, what time it is. It's called Jam Session. So, but I have something to add to that. It's also called, part of this is something I'm trying to do. It's called What's Next. Now, what's next? It's like a little podcast that I have called What's Next. I said it a few times, but this is my first time ever trying it. So, check this out. I'm excited about this. Reason why I say what's next is because I always say to you guys that my day, how it's going, but I never tried what's next because what's next for me. You know, I was thinking about how people react to certain things, right? Okay, for me, I realized that we have to understand what it is that we're trying to relate to. Now, here, check this out. There's people on a job that you look at, and then you see those people, and you say, "What's next from here?" They tell you what's next, but here's let's dip it a little bit further. Now, out there are certain things that people will tell you, "Hey, I want to try this, I want to try that," but you gotta remember, you gotta be aware of what people are trying to tell you. Whatever it is people try to tell you, remember, always look forward to your future because people find ways to relate to you. Like, for example, they say cooking, right? What's next for me is to cook vegetable soup. That's something always wanted to cook, vegetable soup. You put vegetables in it, right? Carrots, you put cabbage, you put, parsley, you put things that all vegetables, you know. And I'm willing to try this because this is something I never cooked vegetable soup. This is the first step. The main thing is getting the ingredients to where you want it to be with flavor. Adding carrots and a lot of potatoes. Adding potatoes, carrots, and potatoes. You gotta add a lot of potatoes to your vegetable soup. Carrots is another thing. Maybe some broccoli or some greens. A little flavor doesn't hurt soup. That's what soup needs. Soup needs a lot of flavor. When you got a lot of flavor at the bottom of it, you gotta let the potatoes get soft. Once the potatoes get soft, that means the soup is done. I'm just not realizing that, but it's good to know that potato is what makes the soup done. I had no idea. So this is my first time ever finding out about that, which is good because when you learn how to cook soup for the first time, you want to cook it many times over because it's something that you learn. That's okay as long as you learn something. As long as you put yourself involved in that to get yourself preparing a meal. Now, preparing a meal is a big step too. That's the next thing I want to talk about. Preparing a meal. The way you prepare a meal is that you got to have a menu. You got to see what's on the menu. You got to see what you want to put on the menu. A lot of people don't know that putting something on the menu means, you got to find sides that go with it. Like, it could be mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes is always a good side because there's a lot of things into mashed potatoes. But you're cooking soup. You're not cooking mashed potatoes. Now, soup carries on from maybe 2 to 3 weeks. You can eat it one day. You can eat it in 2 or 3 weeks. But for me, I would like it to last because having soup that lasts, that means you can have it for any type of situation. Soup, a big pot of soup is very good also, but a small pot is good too because that's two weeks right there worth of food. It might last a day. Who knows? Depending on what type of soup you're cooking. You can cook a vegan soup, or you can just cook a regular soup. You can cook chicken soup. Vegan soup. I've never tried vegan soup. But the soup that always want to try is something new because you can add beans to it. You can add potatoes, carrots, greens. You can add parsley. You can add cabbage. Things that give it flavor. Flavor is what makes soup. Man, let me tell you, man, when you add ingredients to it, like pepper, a little bit of salt, you know, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of onion powder. Well, I don't know if you're supposed to add onion powder, but you could if you want to. These are very essential things. But for me, for the first time, I would love to cook soup. Like y'all saw what I made last time, chicken soup, right? It was good. I would love for y'all to try it, but vegetable soup. Now, if you have some ideas about it, you can let me know what can I add to it. Now, here's the thing: adding things to that's just like with anything else you do. Like for example, you look at what's the next thing I can add to the soup. It depends on how you want to cook your soup. A lot of times we don't know how to cook certain things, but it's good to learn it the first time. But once you're learning how to cook things, make sure you add passion and love into it because it's something that you're trying different. People that try new things, they don't put passion and they put love in it. Love and passion are two of the same thing. But I am so happy to do this because vegetable soup is something that I've always wanted to try. Now, here's another thing. Let's see, what's next also? Oh yeah, I want to ask you guys something. Now, today we were talking about legends of the sport. Legends, legends. What makes a legend, to tell you the truth? What makes a person to become a legend? What makes a person to be legend or have a legacy? What does that mean? I see I switched gears for a minute. I switched because I want to know, I don't want to stay on the same thing. Now, what makes a legend? To me, a legend is someone who creates his own destiny. Now, a lot of y'all are like, wow, that really hit me. I'm going to tell you who's a legend who's a real legend. Bruce Lee. Why? Because he was a teacher first. He empowered the human condition by what he did. He knew who he was. He knew his tradition. He knew where he was from. And he knew about his skills and ability. Because what he did was he was a part of being Chinese first. Because to him, Chinese culture mixes with Western culture, mixes that together because he felt like we can break those traditions that carries on over here in this country. We can break traditions just by teaching others what we know about our culture. We can break traditions just by letting people know that being yourself is the greatest gift of all. Self-expression. That's what he teach. Self-expression. When you you teach you something that other people don't know about you. People know things. People very, very aware of things. But when you teach things that people are not aware of, that they've never heard of before, they follow you because there's something different. Doing things differently is very, very important. That's what he was teaching. Another thing, he taught that, things that people look at other people because of the culture, how they look, the skin color, all that still exists. He broke that because he said that he can, he was able to teach anybody what it is that he does and why he did it. He did it because it was a way of life. That's what he was teaching. He was teaching a way of life. A lot of times, that's what made him a legend because he was teaching that a way of life comes from things that we use every day. For example, the quote that he had put out, about you put water into a cup, it becomes a cup. You put water into a teapot, it becomes a teapot. You put water into a box, it becomes a box. See? Water can flow and crash. That means you can glide either way. You can flow or you can crash. That means you can go forward or fall. That's what that means. You can go forward or you can fall. You have to determine where you at or how you get there by the direction you're following, what you're listening to. A lot of the times we don't know what empowers you, what inspires you, what makes you motivated. You got to find out where all that comes from, because it comes from here. Thinking daily, 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 daily. You're thinking about things daily. When you wake up, your first thoughts is to brush your teeth, wash your face, take a bath, take a shower. You thinking, put your clothes on, put on deodorant, cologne, brush your hair, comb your beard. These are the things that is the foundation of how you live daily. A lot of the times, that's what he would teach, how to live daily. A lot of times we don't know what being on the same page is. Now, if you can get on someone's page and be on the same page, let me tell you guys something. That's what he was teaching. He was teaching that you have to live through human interaction. You don't have to be the same way all the time. Some people go by the book. Hey, that's what you want to do. You go by the book. But it's okay to laugh. It's okay to cry. It's okay to joke. It's okay to tell a story. It's okay, because you know what? Work and play go together. Now, here's an interesting thing. A lot of people don't know what work and play means. Okay. It's called crossing the line, and it's called going too far. It's called oversharing. When you overshare something, that's what Bruce Lee was saying in his teaching. You have to be selfless, which means you have to identify who you want to be and don't waste time doing it. When you waste time, life becomes more precious because you're wasting that time doing something that you should not be following. A lot of people follow what they want to follow and they still live by the example. Here's the thing. Don't live by other people's example. Model your own example. And once you model it, everybody will go along. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing that's interesting about following your own example. Being an example. Be an example to other people. Then they will see, oh man, he's an example. Oh man, he's doing what he needs to do. He's focused. You want to be focused. That's what Bruce Lee was teaching. That's what made him a legend. He was always focused on taking care of his family. He was always doing his tradition of his culture. He was always being Chinese and focused on trying to be an American. He did both. Now everybody knows who he is because he did what he needed to do to provide for his family. That's the number one rule. Providing for others, which is your family. You gotta provide for people. The way you go about doing it, it has to be in the right direction. You gotta listen to someone who's a little bit more experienced than you to get to that level. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get there. I'm saying that it takes a certain amount of time to get to that level. You got to be not content, but uncomfortable with yourself to get to that level. You have to find a way to inspire yourself, to push yourself, to motivate yourself to get to that level that you want to be. That takes time, but you can do it. Success takes time. It's a step-by-step process, and you do it little by little. It's okay if you do a little. If you got to start from the beginning, then start from the beginning. There's nothing wrong with starting from the beginning. A lot of people have a fear of starting somewhere from the beginning. As long as you start somewhere, as long as you get there, that's the most important thing, is getting there and starting somewhere. Now you're looking at me like, wow, this is a different type of conversation. It has to be different. Because if nothing is different, you will not make a change. Change starts with, here's the next thing I want to talk about: positive thinking. Positive thinking creates change. Now, a lot of you say, well, I already know that already. Okay, if you know that already, then why are you doing the same things you did 10 years ago, 5 years ago? Think about it. Why are you doing those same things you did 5 years ago? Because you're used to doing a routine. You're not used to breaking outside your routine to try to do something outside of what you're used to doing. You can work a regular job, but you got to find a way to enjoy what you're doing. A lot of people don't enjoy that. I'm sorry to say, a lot of people enjoy doing the same routine that they always been doing. Remember, to transform yourself is by the renewing of your mind. Transformed by the renewing of your spirit. That's how you become a better person in the world. You have to renew your mind every single day with something different to become all that you can become, that you were created to be. How you do that? You have to change the way you look at life, things that you used to look at, because you have to start with you first. You have to take care of you to take care of the next person and the next person and the next. The way that's going to happen, you got to change this part of you, which is your thinking. Your thinking has to change, because if it doesn't change, you're going to continue to be the same person you was 5, 10 years ago. And then pretty soon you get older. Then you realize, man, what's next for me? That's why I would say, what's next? See, I made that into a podcast called What's Next. What's next is that you gotta find a way to meditate on your thoughts day and night. Whatever you're reading, if it's not giving you a solution to make a better investment in your future, then don't read that. Read something that's going to make you a better person in your future, for your family, for the way you're living, for your lifestyle. Forget material things. They come and go. You wear your nice clothes, wear them. But that's just a material thing. If that's what you're living for, to look nice, to dress nice, go to work and talk, hey, that's what you're living for. But what do you want to live for? What do you look for in yourself? What makes you, you? You got to go outside of yourself. Forget the material things. Forget the jewelry, the necklace, the diamond earring. That sounds nice, but it's not you. You got to find something you're passionate about, and whatever it may be, give it a go. Go for it, because here's the thing. That's why I love doing this, because some of you are thinking this, but you have a hard time expressing it. That's what I mean. What made Bruce Lee what he was. He said you got to have self-expression, which means you don't have to be routine or do the same things over and over. You can be whatever you want to be. That's why I said I feel like I'm the voice of reason for you guys, because everybody has a voice, but your voice is never going to be heard, because you know why? Because you are choosing to be that person you are right now, instead of stepping outside of the box and finding out what it is that you're capable of doing, whatever you're comfortable with. That's how you get comfortable. You find out what you're able to do and you're passionate about, and then you get comfortable making it comfortable for others around you. When others are able to provide and give to others, that's what makes you comfortable. when you're able to provide and give and protect, give to others, that's what makes you a better person to change things, because you're changing it by giving people something they never had before. And that takes a lot of practice, you guys. That takes a lot of commitment. That takes a lot of settling down. Don't let me tell you something. This is referring to us. Men. Men, let me tell you something. This is the way you have to understand something. The way you are living now as a man, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you decide that you don't want the same things that certain people want. You gotta realize, as a man, this is what you're gonna have. There's nothing wrong with being a man. You just gotta find out what is the meaning of being a man. You gotta find out the definition of it. You gotta determine, what does a man look like? You gotta find, we have an example already. He came, he went, he rose, and he left the earth. You already know what that example is. You know the answer to it, but you refuse to take what that example has given to you and put it in place into your heart. You gotta find out what's in your heart, man. You gotta find out, man, what it is you're capable of becoming. Because if you don't know, then how can your wife or girlfriend know who they are? Because you're not taking the time to find out. You gotta make a sacrifice towards that relationship. Whatever you sacrifice, it is gonna make you a better person. Sacrifices is what it takes to make relationships work. That's how. Let me share this. I know some of you are like, man, why is he messing it up for us? We're us as men. Why are you saying it? The reason why I'm saying it, because women are thinking it. And because women are thinking it, that's why I'm saying it to us, that we must be capable of preparing ourselves for anything, because that's what they look for. They look for someone to be a comforter, a helper. We have that. We have that helper. But here's the thing. Excuse me. The comforter, he's always there. You realize he's there. He's there to protect you. He's there to guide you. He's there to counsel you. He's there to make you whole. He's there to love you, care for you, provide for you. He's always there to help you. We never see the helper. We know who the helper is. We just don't acknowledge the helper because we don't think he exists. And okay, I'm stepping outside the box. I've always stepped outside the box. I've never been inside the box. Reason why that is because this is who I've always been. I'm just now understanding that as I'm a little bit older, but I understand it. I'm not of age. I am aging, but not of age. Reason, we know what that means? I'm aging into something different, something better. But of age means that you feel like you're getting older. See? Men, think about that. You're not getting older. You're getting wiser. See? Wiser. Now, we already know that. You're like, man, we know that already. But here's the point that you're missing. Women don't know that you're wise because you're not sharing information with them to make them understand why you're wise, or why you the way you are, or why you are in the situation you're in. You gotta express who you are. That's why I said Bruce Lee was selfless. He understood that philosophy. And because he understood that secret, that's what made him the greatest fighter of all time. because he understood the philosophy of life. He understood that because he took what we knew and turned it into something magnificent because he faced it head on. He had no fears of it. And the reason why he had no fear of it because he already knew what type of man he was. He never changed that. That's what made him what he was. He knew what he was facing. Some men don't know what they're facing. That's why you guys look at yourself like, dang, what's going on? Why is she saying these things? Why my wife did? No, don't question it. Don't question it. That's a waste of time. Just find out what you're capable of knowing about yourself and try to transform that. See, right there, I just gave you an idea. Transform the renewing of your thinking, and then you will have a prosperous relationship. Women don't know what we're thinking half the time. We as men have to express ourselves for them to know us and us to know them. They express themselves all the time. They're storytellers. They know the right words to say. They know how to put words in a sentence. They don't take long to do it. They're quick thinkers. We know they're right. We just got to find a way to be on the same page as them. Now, see, I gave you a solution right there. We got to be on the same page as them. How do we get on the same page? We have to hear what they're saying. And that takes a real serious commitment. That takes a lifetime to do because men and women are going to always be different. But here's the thing. There's a way to be on the same page. You have to understand where she's coming from. It's a task, but we can do it. The way you do that is you try to put an ear to hear exactly where she's taking the conversation. Having a really deep conversation means that you will find the right person. But you can't do that if you're not trying to listen to what she is saying to you. Men, sit down, evaluate that, and try to hear what the woman is telling you. Follow that direction, and you will be in a better place in your relationship. See, I just gave you guys a solution. I don't want to hang on that too long. But here's the thing I want to tell you before I stop. Remember, every day you wake up, you could always change something about you to make you greater or better than what you used to be the day before. Now, some of you saying, how do you do that? Wake up thinking, thank you, Lord, for waking me up this morning. Thank you, Lord, for giving me strength in my body. How can I please you today, Lord? How can I be a better man or woman? How can I be better to help others? What can I do to change myself into the man or woman you want me to be? See, you have to pray about it. You have to pray. You have to pray. Just pray. Yeah, just pray and watch the transformation. Prayer is powerful. It's a powerful, powerful thing when you pray and you pray under the shadow of the Almighty Lord. When you pray, prayer is very powerful. It can be heard. And when prayer gets answered, think about this. What type of prayer do you want the Lord to hear? See, right now, a lot of you just turn your brain off right now. Oh, it's too late for all that. I'm tired. I don't want to hear that. But here's the thing. You're going to stay in the same position you've been in for the last 5 to 10 years. Why? Because you don't want to hear this instruction. This is a simple thing. Pray, pray, pray. pray that you become a better man or woman, because that's what it takes. It's okay to pray, you guys. It's not harming anybody. That's the most harmless thing. It's very harm. It's not even hurtful. That word don't even exist when you pray. It's just see what I'm saying? That's why I say I share my days with you guys, because I want you guys to understand how and why you feel this way. You feel like, oh, my prayers are not being answered. It's because of how you're praying about it. You gotta be detailed about what you're praying about. You can't just pray something and then poof, presto, it's gonna happen like a magic box. No, 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 no. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down for a minute. Give it time and patience. You gotta have patience, man. You gotta have the patience. And when it does happen, when your prayer answer, it's gonna happen at the time you didn't expect it to. Then you can be like, man, maybe you already got it already. Okay, I'm not gonna hang on that too long. Just let you think about it. Just think about that. Think about it. Okay, guys. It's about that time. Until next time, remember, pray, hope, love. Subscribe, comment, concerns, or questions. Please give me some thoughts about how your day went. Tell me how this session affected you. Tell me how it can be different. Let me know so that way I can go in and change it up. All right, guys. Until next time. See you later. May God be with you.